Hi 4-Hers, how are you? I miss our sewing project, but I have been busy sewing more than I think I've ever sewn in my life. I sew between 6 and 8 hours every day. I've been making medical masks. I've been sending them. I've sent over 80 masks out to nurses and other healthcare workers, and this is what I do every day. So I thought I'd go ahead and show you how I'm making the mask that I'm making. This is the mask that I'm making. It looks kind of like a beak. Fits right over here like that. I have a wire right in here so you can put it closer right to your nose. You can see I can bend it out too. And it holds it in there. It also has a pocket in here that you can slide a filter. I do have my filter in here. So the kind of filter that I have is, ask your parents about it, but a furnace filter or an air conditioning filter. It's a big box and it's got pleats in it and you have to take it apart. You can Google that, and you need to make sure if you get that you get a 1900 or higher rated one, because that will filter and keep out viruses and things like that, and it will make your mask more effective. As it is right here, this is a 3 layers of 100% cotton. It's about 50% effective. If you want to make that closer to 90% effective, add one of those filters to it. Cut it to the shape of your mask and put it inside that. Your cotton mask can be washed. You can actually boil it to make it even safer. And you can throw it in the dryer after that and then take a hot iron and reshape it just like that. For the filter, you can steam it. You cannot wash it. So if you boil a pot of water and put a colander on top of that and place it in there, and you can steam it, and that will help. Or just throw it away and cut out another one, because you can get quite a few from that filter. Anyway, I'm going to show you how I've been making these. This is what we're making. I'm going to go ahead and turn my iron on so it's ready, and it's right behind me. That's where my iron is. So you can tell I've been chain stitching these. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just sewing on the curve of that. I got my pattern from Craft Projects, and it has a child size, holds all the different sizes. So you go ahead, and you guys probably have some tiers and stuff like that in your house too. We have lots of that. So I downloaded it, and then I made my own template, because this is a little bit harder plastic, and I draw, and I'm making lots and lots of these. So you add a 1/4 inch seam allowance around all the edges and make your pattern piece. And then you just trace them out, cut them out, and stitch them. So I go in here and I stitch on this curved piece. Now I do have quite a few here. You won't need to make quite this many, but I'm going to go ahead and finish these up. And then I hope, if you know you're a sewer of mine, you're going to have your thread catcher, right? Stick that in there. It's a lifesaver. Now be careful. I have already sewn my finger. I've sliced it with my rotary cutter. I've cut it with my scissors. But anyway, so be careful out there. All right, so you are going to need 2 of these. All right, got 2 of them sewn together. So a total of 4 pieces right there. You're also going to need a liner inside. That's one of these. It's also sewn together the exact same way. Now we're going to do one more thing. To one of the pieces, I'm going to cut off a 1/2 inch on this edge right here. Can you see that? So I'm just going to take my rotary cutter, and I'm going to go 1/2 inch and just slice it off. There we go. Get rid of that. All right, there it is. Now we're going to go over to our ironing board, and we are going to iron these. So what you're going to do, I have one of them already started, is you're going to iron the center seam, and you're going to open the seam, and you're going to iron it open. So here we go. I'm going to just turn you over here, and I'll show you what I do over here. This is my other station. I have a dryer ball. It works really great. You can use a sock or whatever, roll it up, or you can just do it flat, whichever. I just almost like a cape. Ooh. So open up that seam. I kind of press it with my fingers. Take my iron And I just go in there and I press it. Just press it open. How have you guys been doing? Been staying busy? I see a lot of you still working your animals and doing art projects and all of that. All right, so I got 2 of those done. Now I need 1 more. Put a little cape on, open up that seam. My girls have been busy. They've been doing an awful lot on the computer. Have you? I don't know. I guess I would be on my iPad if I wasn't doing this. I know I've seen Tori. She's been doing some sewing. I saw Trisha. She was doing some sewing. All right, so I have that. Another thing I also like to do is I like to turn my edges over. And you can iron that or just go sew that. And I'm going to do that to all of my pieces right here. All right. There's one. Now you don't have to do this. If you want, I can show you how to do it just straight on the machine. If you are like Amelia, she likes to measure everything and be very precise, and she likes to pin things. If you'd like to pin it, hey, go ahead. Go ahead and pin. I am not a pinner. I never will be. All right, here we go. So we've got our 3 pieces. That's what you're going to have. And we're just going to stitch down those sides. Oh, I am going to change out my foot. I use a 1/4 foot when I'm sewing my front seams, and I take that out and just put in a regular foot when I'm doing my others stitching. I won't need that foot again for a while. All right, I'm just going to stitch down all of those sides. Now these are the ones that I ironed. So here they go. And I wanted to show you the one I hadn't ironed. This is not ironed. I'm just going to fold it, and it fits right in my foot. Not sure if you can see it or not, but I just fold it over and I just start stitching. Whatever works best for you. I got my little kid scissors. You know, they work the best for cutting threads. Ooh, they work the best. Also, if you use really big scissors, which I have them. These are not my fabric scissors. These are my regular, but they would cut. But the thing is that I get hurt. So kid scissors, man, they work the best. All right, now you're gonna do the other side. You gotta do that to all the edges. Oh, that one's done. Turn it over. And then you've got that one. Remember I didn't iron the one? Well, I'm just going to turn it. Just fold it a little bit to where I think a 1/4 inch is, and I'm just going to stitch it down. Any of those ways work just fine. Now, this is the tricky part. You need to stitch down both sides of that center seam. We're going to stitch down this way and stitch down this way. Okay? See if it comes up better on the black. Can you see that? I'm going to lift my foot and set it on there. I like to do the right side one first. And if you watch, I kind of have to move and separate that seam there, that fabric, because it's a curve. This is a curved seam. It's kind of a more difficult stitch. So go slow. And there it kind of flattens out. I leave it in there. I'm just going to lift my foot and turn it. I'll clip out that other one right now. Just turning it, and I'm going to go back on that other seam, but now it's on the right side of me. See? Now I'm going to do that right side. You're going to stitch down both of the sides because we butterflied almost. We butterflied that seam open. Pressed it open because there's going to be 3 layers together. It'll be really thick. So there it is. I want to show this to you. Now you get to do this 3 times, so you'll get really good. But there we go. So you can see the stitching went up. That, and it went there, okay? It went up twice, up and down, okay? because we had to stitch down that whole thing. See how nice and flat that lays? That's where you're going to be on your nose. So you want it to lay flat as possible. Now I know that there's lots of different masks. There's pleated masks, and if that's what you're making, that's awesome. They work just the same. I just really like this one because it bumps it out away from my nose. I don't like having anything touching my nose or my mouth. It bothers me. I feel like I can't breathe. But this mask, I just really, really like it. And I had some nurses that had requested this style mask. And that's why I got started making this style. It also has 3 layers, whereas the pleated masks have 2 layers. But again, if you have a filter in there, or even on your pleated ones, you could put 3, 4 layers. That all works. Oh. I imagine that this is what's going to be like for the teachers when they're teaching. Their kids are going to keep coming in and coming in. And, oh, did you call me? Or, well, crying and all of that. All right. So you have to do it to every single layer. So sometimes you have to lift your foot and you have to help it. Because that curved seam, curves are hard. But it's all right. We'll get through it. Now sometimes it won't go. I have to lift my foot and just tuck it back in there. Clip this out. All right, here we go. We are ready to stitch this thing together. Are you ready? I'm going to flop my foot out. I'm going to take my foot out and put my 1/4 inch seam allowance one in here. They just pop right in here. That's how my machine works. Do you know how yours works? All right. 3 layers. Are you ready? The longest one, the one that we did not cut, we're going to cut right side to us. Then you are going to put the shorter one that you did cut right side to it. So remember, right sides together. So your fabric, right sides together, wrong sides looking out. Line those up. And then you're going to put this liner, the right side facing to the back. So you're going to be looking, so when you look at this whole thing, you can turn it and be looking at the wrong side on both sides, okay? Line them up. All right, I'm going to stitch right along here. It's going to come right together. See that? I'm just doing that outside edge. And I'm just going to go right along with it. It's going to curve. You're going to have to go with the curve. Stop. If things are not lining up, it looks like I've got one that's separating right here. So I'm just going to go in there, help lift it up where it's supposed to go. Line them all back up. And then you're going to do the bottom. Put your thread catcher in there. I'm telling you, that thing right there, that little thread catcher is a lifesaver. All right. See? All right, now we're going to flip it over. We're going to do the other side. Stitch that bottom. Now I did do another video and I showed you how to put in, I will post that. So there's a second video. They'll both be on my YouTube channel if you want to go on there and look. And that shows how to put the wire piece in and the elastic. I think I did the elastic, but I'll go and check. And here it is. You're going to turn it right side out, flip it. And the 2 seams, that's the top. You'll see it, it's starting to curve. All right, and I'm gonna take it over and I'm gonna go iron this. Oh, I'm really technologically fancy here. All right, so I'm gonna iron it. Here it goes. No, I was hoping to plan some fun kind of sewing. Well, some different kind. This is fun too. Especially if you're saving lives and helping protect your family. That's a really good thing to do. There it is. All it needs now is its little wire and the elastic. All right, that's it. All right, I'll show you in another video how to finish it up. But that's your mask. There it is. This one has little paw prints on it. I thought it was super cute. I hope you guys are doing okay. Hope everybody's safe and staying well and staying home. All right, guys, I miss you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.